Okay. Example, part A. A cellular system uses FDMA. I assume I don't have to explain what FDMA is. So let's say the total bandwidth equals 98 megahertz, just short of 100. To set up a call, actually let's say to set up half a call. So in other words, to set up one user's side of a call, and that will then account for the possibility that two cellular subscribers are calling each other. So to set up half a call, one user's side of a call, I need to spend 20 kilohertz. And this is actually, it makes sense to talk about half calls because that would be what the company would charge you for. So each subscriber that is using the cell network to place a call would be charged. So if two cell phone customers are calling each other, both would be charged. Reuse factor. Is 7. So in other words, reuse factor, that's the size of the cell cluster. So every 7 cells, the same entire bandwidth of 98 megahertz is reused. So the question is, how many calls per cell? How many half calls per cell? Okay, let me keep this up just to visualize it. Pardon me? Is that right? Actually, it's going to work it out on the board. No? Okay. So we've got 7 cells. So how much bandwidth per cell? It's 14 megahertz. So 98, which is the total system bandwidth. I divide that evenly amongst the cells in the reuse cluster. And I get 14 megahertz. How many half calls can I make in 14 megahertz? 14 megahertz divided by 20 kilohertz per half call is equal to, well, let's see, what is that? That's 1400 kilohertz divided by 20 kilohertz, which is 70. So anyway. That's what you said. Sorry.
700.
Two different versions. Oh, right. Yeah. You're right. 14,000 kilohertz. Yeah, you're right. So that's 700. I know, that seemed a little low.
Oh, that's exactly
Same thing? Okay, any other questions? Okay, so 700 half calls per cell. So in other words, in each of these regions, there can be 700 people simultaneously making a phone call. That's not the number of active terminals that you can have. So, I mean, your cell phone can be on and talking to the base station, but not receiving a call. The radio link between a mobile and a base station, to keep that active, requires very, very little bandwidth. The bandwidth, the large consumer of bandwidth is basically a call. Okay, so that's an interesting that's how you calculate how many calls per cell.